Is that really classified as crucial business? Yeah, I started it. What do I do with my hands? I'm showing you. Oh, okay. Jessica wants me to say hello. So, hello, guys. To our Sunday night live. Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's true. Jessica is making coffee, which is important. Alaska, yeah. Everyone's signing on, saying where they're from.
Hey, y'all. Hello, hello. Oh, wow. I have lots of people on here already. I saw somebody ask about a keyhole garden. No, but I would really like to do a keyhole garden. I've seen a lot. Aw. Jay from the Grateful Sunlight says she's knitting something for me right now. I have to show y'all my blanket that a precious viewer sent me. Hold on one second.
Cool.
I got to get my coffee, too.
Oh, man. I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. Alberta. Cappuccino for me. Yeah.
Talk to people. Say hi.
I'm trying. We're all just saying the same thing. I can't just say, wait, here. Hi.
Look at this, guys. Isn't this gorgeous? It's peacock colors.
Maine, West Virginia, Newfoundland. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to respond to that. So I'm actually a Newfie by blood. My grandmother on my dad's side is full-blood Irish Canadian from Newfoundland. My dad was born in Newfoundland, even though he was born on a U.S. Air Force base, so he's still a U.S. citizen. So that's really cool. I've actually got extended family that's still like a very large extended family. Their last name is the Tracys that live in Newfoundland. So that's pretty cool. So how long have you and Jeremiah been together and how did you meet? How long have we been together? 9 years?
Important business is handled.
Coffee? Yeah.
Okay, we've been together for, like 9 years. We've been married for almost 8 years.
Yeah, there's Ethan. There's Rose.
So our family's blended, if you didn't know that about us. That's why we have a daughter that doesn't live with us. We have 6 children total. Our oldest is a girl that was from Maya's previous marriage, and then our older 2 boys are from my previous marriage. They live with us, and then we have the 3 little boys together. So we've been together for 9 years. Our older kids were really young. Whenever we got together, they were like 3 and 4 when we got married, and so yeah, we met. I knew Maya's family for a long time. His brother Josh, the one with the construction company, like if you see our last name on like shirts and jackets and trucks and all of that stuff, it's because his brother has a construction company. And his brother was one of my really good friends. And Maya's mom was one of my really good friends. So I actually had met his entire family before I ever met him. He was the last Sowards for me to ever meet.
He's the best.
We fell in love. David said, I just wanted to say I've been watching you guys for a couple months, and I love your homestead. Keep up the great. Thank you so much, David Petrie. It's so sweet.
Even and all to the Mangalita Mama. Mama Quail Hollow.
Hey, Kaylee.
She's got the Mangalitas going on.
So Kaylee inspired us to get the breed of pig that we have, and Maya calls her Mangalita Mama, and I told her after he first started that, I was like, that's going to stick, right? So yay!
No, I actually wasn't a part of the marshmallow fight. I lived out of state.
Mm-hmm. But his family was there during the marshmallow fight.
Yes, that's true.
Noah. Hey, Noah, come here.
Little Nose.
He doesn't love being on the camera. But
he's the youngest. He's the little baby.
This is Jeremiah's youngest brother.
You'll be nice to him because he's a baby.
Isn't he beautiful? He's such a precious
See?
boy. This is my little
I remember the first time I did a live video.
Yeah. Noah was Noah was 3 the first time that I met him. And so I've known their family that long. Jacqueline Freeman, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. December babies unite. Thank you so much for that super chat. I hope you have a beautiful birthday evening. But yeah, so Noah is how old are you? 19?
19.
And he's absolutely a precious man, and he just makes me so proud. Somebody asked me if I ever thought about being a vegetarian. I have been a vegetarian. I have been a vegetarian. I have been a vegan, both for pretty significant amounts of time. And and so I'm actually kind of leaning more. I don't actually eat a whole lot of meat right now. But that I could probably do a video about that.
Noah is also a very upstanding guy in a very serious relationship. And him and his girlfriend have been together for how long?
2 years.
So they've been together since she was in middle school. No, I'm just kidding. She's a senior in high school, and they've been together for 2 years, and they have never even kissed. Like, he is doing the thing right.
Yeah, he really.
We love Maddie. I actually like Maddie probably more than Noah.
Stop it.
Okay, I'll stop.
People are like, my daughter's 19.
I know. Rose was like,
Rose,
my daughter's 19. I'm like, no.
Yeah, so.
She got that guy on lockdown. He's got to report in 15 minutes.
Yeah, you better quit picking on little baby Noah. Noah has been helping remodel my basement. He's actually very skilled at framing, and he's done a lot of the framing down there, so he's doing really good. I am so glad you asked if I am planting any new tomatoes for spring planting.
Oh, we got something today.
Today, my tomato seeds from Brad Gates came in. Are they on the table still, or did they get tidied somewhere?
The table didn't get tidied, so they're probably still sitting there.
Y'all, I take over the table. This is one of Jeremiah's pet peeves in our marriage.
That's why I'm remodeling the basement. Because literally, her stuff is everywhere.
Oh man, okay.
It's around somewhere.
So my tomato seeds from Wild Boar Farms came in today.
Man, it's a piece of paper with seeds taped to it. Should be easy to find.
And I got Brad's new things that he released. He released 4, and I only bought 3 of them. And one of them, it's called Painted Lady, and it is a tomato plant with variegated leaves. So it's got splashes all over the leaves. So cool. Also one called Cherokee Rose, which is a muted skin, like a matte skin Cherokee purple mutation. Really cool. And it's stabilized. So I'm really excited about those. It's Wild Boar Farms if you've not looked into that. It's okay. I don't have to show them. It's just seeds and bags. It's okay. Somebody asked about the camera. I saw that. And Ethan from 180 Degrees from Average, one of our mods, actually responded. Canon G7X.
That's one.
Okay. So that's not a super. Do you want to say hi, Ben? You want to say hi? We have our kids here tonight. We usually don't when we do live, so they may make a few guest appearances. Ben, can you say hi to everybody? He's being a little bit shy today. So the G7X, the Canon G7X, it's not I wouldn't call that like a super cheap entry level camera, but it is cheap in comparison to like DSLRs. I think a G7X will run you in the $600 range maybe. But the thing is it's the whole camera. You don't have to buy an extra lens. You don't have to get anything extra. Canon just released a new thing, like a creator kit. And it's like the M series, I think. And it comes with the VidMic Go from Rode and possibly a tripod. I'm not sure, but it's really cool. But yeah, my thing is with the camera, if you want to get started and you have a good smartphone, like an iPhone, just use that. I mean, like you can do a lot on an iPhone.
We use iMovie to edit.
Yeah, I'm just using iMovie. I actually shot a video through Skype today and with camera set up with Morgan from Goldshaw Farm. It's going to be a really cool video talking about seeds and gardening and stuff. But he's going to give me a crash course in Premiere Pro. I really want to learn, but I am really like a hands-on learner. And in order to learn things like that, especially like technological things, I really need like one-on-one mentorship where I can see what a person's doing. And so he's going to do that maybe after the holidays.
Someone had asked about the flooring. The flooring in the family room is actually just a random thing we did. When my brother worked at a flooring company for a really short time, and they had all these closeouts of like these pallets that were like half pallets, so like only like 200 square feet, right? But they had like 10 different colors or something like that. So we ended up getting like 5 or 6 different colors for really, really cheap. They were closing them out for 10 cents a square foot. So for like $210, we floored
like all
of our the family room, the main areas, the kitchen,
hallway.
Like, and the thing is that they're all from the same brand pretty much, but the different prints. And so they all walk together fine, but that's why we did the pattern. And honestly, Jessica prefers it over regular floor. So,
do you remember when Henley came here, the little girl that played with you on the swing? You remember when those girls came and the littlest one was named Henley?
No.
Yes. Remember they went out back with us and they brought you cinnamon rolls? Remember that? She says hi. She's on here. Her mommy's watching. Her mommy and daddy are watching. Heirloom Permaculture. They came to visit us and brought us delicious cinnamon rolls that they made. Someone said that would have driven their OCD husband nuts. I love the mix match floors. And like now that we're kind of like working on redoing some things in our house, I'm like, oh, please leave my floors alone. And it's also been really nice that they were such a low financial commitment, because with having so much traffic and kids and all that stuff, it's like I'd never stressed about them getting messed up. You know how if you like really invest on getting new floors, you're like super, worried about it. And I've never had to be worried about it. That's been really nice.
I wish I could eat that bread. I love homemade bread.
Somebody asked, how's the Messy Jessie situation going to work once the basement's done?
Well, that will be for... Hey, Noah.
Hey,
Noah,
it's cool. Talk to Messy Jessie situation.
So, what it'll probably be like, if I'm being real, is Jessica's going to make lots of strides to get organized, because she really wants to be organized, but her creative mind doesn't always compartmentalize very well. So I'll help her in that area, but if it gets messy, it'll be her area. So, I mean, it'll probably be like her desktop, chaos, but a chaos that she understands and navigates. If that makes sense. Like me, like I'm very different than that, but...
Yeah, Mama tried. Ben has got a yucky cough. He's been recovering he got sick last week.
Well, we just don't go to the doctor really fast.
Yeah,
like,
so
we'll try and self-treat. We'll try essential oils and natural stuff, and if it doesn't get kicked,
then if it's something that needs to go see a doctor, we'll definitely go. But like on stuff like that, he just never ran a high fever. It was just always kind of low and just a little bit of croup and stuff. So we've just been dealing with it. Today is a little worse than he has been the last couple of days. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. Creativity does not work with tidy. You are so right.
I know. So essentially for our household, one, we're in the process of like just kind of purging stuff. Like, I mean, people who have families and houses, I'm sure you can relate. We've just accumulated so much stuff. Like, our kids are tired of picking up too many toys. And so we're going to be purging toys and finding places to give them and get rid of them. Plus they've got new toys obviously coming for Christmas from grandparents, and us are getting them some. So anyways, we've got too much stuff. We want to simplify things, and so that'll help with organization. But as honestly, the biggest thing would be to her having her own space that can be separate from where the kids go and where the kids hang out, and she can organize it however she wants. So if like it gets crazy, that'll be on her.
I like a little bit of chaos that I understand. It helps me to function whenever everything's put away. I
don't really care for the NFL. I mean, not like don't have anything against the NFL. I just don't really watch football that much. So if I do, I try and catch an Oklahoma Sooners game. I'm from Oklahoma. I grew up there, so I kind of like the Sooners.
Hey, Little Rock, cool. You're neighbors to us.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, we had someone message us this week or last week that was like right down the street, like on Fortson.
Yeah, like really close. So. Time out real quick. I want you guys to go give my moderators some love. I always tell you guys to love on my moderators. Tonight looks like we've got Wholesome Roots with us and 180 Degrees from Average. The moderators that get on here and help us make this possible. April Loves Life said I would go nuts if everything's put away. I know. I like for things to be a little eclectic. So, yeah, comments in all caps, please. Because
questions in all caps.
Questions in all caps.
But Denise had a question, and honestly, I think the best answer to this is the video that's coming that you shot today with Goldshaw. She said, "What are you going to be trying from spring out of the new catalog?"
That is exactly the video.
The video you shot today was just all talking about the catalog and what you're going to try, different things. So
today, Morgan and I shot a video through Skype, and he's actually going to edit it. It's going to be a really cool project. So I'm actually mailing him my SD card tomorrow, and he's going to put it all together. So those will be up here pretty soon on his channel and mine. Cool. Where we are going through the catalog and kind of talking about some different things, and because he's in a way different zone than me. He's up in zone 4, and so completely different growing stuff. So he's kind of talking about what works for him. And man,
the quail are growing so fast. They're all doing the quail.
Quail grow fast.
They're so fast. They're so big.
Yeah, I edit an iMovie right now, but I'm gonna change. Oh, hey, Malia, there's our girl.
You should check out the video today, Malia. It'll give you a sneak peek, but we're not showing you what it's going to look like.
Yeah. So, beekeeping, absolutely. We are getting bees in the spring. I think we're going to start with two hives. Yeah. Man, Rose's quail are already full size. She hatched some just a couple weeks before us. It's crazy how fast they grow. Another quick announcement. We are going out of town this coming weekend for a couple days, and for my birthday, we actually will be we'll be kind of around on Sunday, but I don't know that we'll be going live Sunday. I don't think so. That's my birthday evening, and we'll probably not be going live. Possibly while we're out running and maybe on the road, we might do a crazy,
get a really nice restaurant, go to Cheesecake Factory.
But on Friday night, December 14th, we are actually stopping by at Rose's house at Wholesome Roots. We're going to spend the night with her at her house. Super cool the way it worked out. We're actually going to a wedding in Georgia on Saturday.
That's right. It's only 5 o'clock in Vegas right now. She's about to go to church.
Oh, yeah.
I want to forget you're 2 hours behind me.
Yeah, so we're going to stop at Rose's on Friday night, and she actually does her regularly scheduled live stream on Friday night. Rose, help us out. What time is it? I think it's at 7 or 8 Eastern time. But we're going to be on Rose's live stream at Wholesome Roots. I will be there on Friday night if you guys want to get a chance to chat next weekend. 8 p.m. Eastern time on Wholesome Roots. There she is. If you want to follow that. So
that's committed right there. Sam's Allotment Diary.
Yeah.
It's 1:18 a.m.
Wow.
in the UK.
Write that one down. Guys. So I did a challenge. I think it was the favorite video challenge. And gardeners in the UK really responded, and it kind of went through a circuit of gardening YouTubers in the UK. And I got hooked up with some really cool channels. I want to check Sam's Allotment Diary out. But I was going to tell y'all, Benjamin has become obsessed with Charles Dowding. So I don't know if you follow Charles Dowding. He is an incredibly, brilliant gardener. Has one of the most gorgeous gardens I've ever seen. Has an awesome YouTube channel. I think he just rolled over 100,000 today or something like that. But Ben has become just wild about this, and he will literally watch Charles Dowding as much as I will let him. And we don't really give him just crazy screen time, but he can sit here and watch just entire 20-minute episodes, and he'll just watch it and go, oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And he'll say, Mom, can we grow chicories like Charles Dowding? It's so cute.
So funny.
Oh, so cute.
Someone asked multiple times, so let's address it. What are the quail for?
We got the quail primarily. Going to keep them for eggs. We're going to keep the quail to eat quail eggs. We're going to end up with a lot of males this time, and our plan is to dispatch those males and see if we like the meat, if that's something that we would want to get into. I know a lot of people raise them for meat, but primarily for eggs is kind of our plan.
Quail are doing really good.
They're doing really well, yeah. And the thing is with quail and for eggs and meat, a lot of people get into those that because the turnaround is so much faster, they reach maturity and begin laying at 6 weeks. And so, the turnaround is just so much faster.
I'm predicting that I am going to like quail meat. That's actually true.
They
I really
hatch in
feel like I'm
17
going to.
days. And so it's a lot faster than raising chickens. So.
I mean, we'll still raise meat birds at some point soon, but.
Do you have lots of ticks here? Yes. Unfortunately, we have a lot of ticks. We keep birds for that, and
in the summer we do chick checks.
We do
checks.
tick checks like morning and evening. We do not go to bed. Our kids do not go to bed without a tick check. Like even if, like, for instance, if we're gonna miss bath at night, like we go and check completely for ticks, and they know at this point how to check themselves a lot, and they know how to find them, and they know to bring them to come to me and for me to remove them, because that's a real thing here.
How many quail do we have left? Probably like 60, 70?
60 or 70. We did give some away and stuff, and then we lost some whenever the heat lamp got unplugged. I wanted to answer something I've seen a few times. What have you planted in your bootstrap seed starters in the greenhouse? I actually just put some lettuce seeds and some pak choi seeds in there today. I was going to plant some the other day. I posted a vlog talking about that, and I didn't get out there that day. Well, the next day I planted my garlic, and then we had a few days of just overcast rain, and it was really cold, and I didn't want to put the seeds in and then leave them in on a few cold overcast days. So I was waiting, and then today was really sunny. So I went out and planted some things in there today. Charles Dowding, I'm going to type his name there so you guys can see the spelling. Easy flowers to grow in low sun that are pretty besides zinnias. I'm not really sure on low sun. I know that I started calendula in the spring before the spring really kicked in, and it grew really well, so that might be a good one. Yes, quail do lay through winter.
Sanitize?
Rose.
How would you sanitize an incubator?
I mean, I usually sanitize an incubator with like bleach spray. I don't know that that's really the right thing to do. That's what sometimes. Do you ever do things and you're like, this is what I do, but I don't know why or if it's even okay. So
can we be best friends?
Wholesome Roots uses vinegar.
Germany.
You should probably listen to her. She probably knows what she's talking about more than me. Congratulations, Tammy. Your first duck egg. That's really cool from your duck willow. I'm still waiting on some of my ducks to start. Eileen said impatiens don't require much sun. That's good to know. See, I wonder if stuff like, pansies and violas and all of that, I mean, they grow through the fall. So I would think that means that they do better with less sun. Let me go back up. Is there anything else that you saw?
There's going to be, go down. There's a super chat. Oh, you just passed it.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Mama and Baby Bear's Garden, your homeschool video gave me courage to homeschool. That's really awesome. I've really gone back and forth recently about the possibility of putting my kids in public school, because just to be very transparent for a moment, Jeremiah's mom dying has thrown me for a complete and total loop, because not only did his mom die, but his sister who lived there moved because she didn't want to live there without her mom. And, she lived there to be with her mom, and she moved the week she died into town. And so literally like a massive part of our support system went away just at once. And so that was a big deal with homeschooling. However, really after this last couple of weeks, we're really praying about it. I'm not going to put my kids in public school right now. I'm not saying I never will. Like, my oldest son goes to public school. I don't really have anything against it, but I really just want to continue to give it a shot, making it work. And I really feel like I'm getting my bearings on what's normal now. Wow. Thank you so much. That is such a nice gift. Wow. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Mr. and Mrs. Camacho. Is that how you say it? Thank you. It's always Ethan. He always does it.
He's a freaking instigator.
Alpacas.
We actually found out there's multiple farms close by that have alpacas.
Yeah, like 2 within like 5 miles from here.
Yeah, so we'll probably be talking to them. Honestly, we made friends with another Arkansas YouTube channel. I don't know if they're on here. What is it? Square.
I have to look it up. About. Yeah, let me look it up.
We just met them. Like, we just found them this week.
And have been talking to them.
But anyways, they actually had alpacas, right? And then sold them.
Square One Farms. They're out of Pine Bluff. Small channel. But, man, they're doing some really good videos. Actually, I don't know if they're still – they are. They have a cool giveaway going on, and they don't you guys go check them out. You go tell them that Roots and Refuge sent you. They have 2 giveaways. I have not entered them. I figured I would leave them for everybody else because they were giving away some stuff that I kind of already they were giving away this really cool like ambient heat warmer for like hatching, and then another giveaway. Let me see if I can get their link. Hey, there's 180 degrees from average popping up on my suggested videos.
Oh yeah,
I gotta sign in.
I would watch his video if he wasn't trying to push alpacas on.
Whatever. Yeah, Rose actually has already convinced her husband for alpacas. She was saying she just needs shelter for him.
Well, that's honestly the thing we're waiting on also.
Yeah, we're not ready. We're not ready for alpacas.
We got to get the horses off that pasture and then get the barn structure up. So it's coming. I'm sure they'll never hear the end of it. So.
Do you guys hunt deer? If so, do you process yourself? We have processed ourselves. We usually take the first couple to a local processor because they do breakfast sausage that Jeremiah really likes, and then we've processed ourselves as well.
She's silly.
Have you ever gardened in a cold area? No. I am Arkansan born and raised. I was born in South Arkansas. I've only lived out of this state in Texas briefly and in East Tennessee for a few years. So I've never gardened anywhere where it's cold. I've only ever gardened in the South.
Sunshine Farm from New York. What do you have planned for the horses? Just to love on them, ride them? They're just like going to be for us. Like they're not like work horses.
Yeah, well, they're not work horses. Our horses are all rescues. They were working horses. A lot of them came from cattle farms because they came down from Louisiana near Texas and stuff. Why don't you guys have wood stove heat? Mariah Ferguson. We bought our house as a foreclosure, and our house was completely non-functional whenever we bought it. We actually had to spend the first couple of months before we could move, first couple of weeks before we could move in, fixing the mechanical stuff enough to move in. And since then, it's been one small remodel at a time. We're actually getting ready to fix our mechanical, like heating and air, we didn't have central air conditioning this year. We had window units, which is, kind of a big deal in the South, but we kept our house comfortable, but we've been fixing things as we could. Our plan is to eventually put in a wood stove downstairs in the fireplace and to install a wood stove in the upstairs living room. And we will heat our home with wood as much as we can at that point. So just one thing at a time. The list is long.
Breeds of horses. They're all quarter horses. None of them are gated at all. There's 2 lineback duns. One of those was actually my mother's horse, and he's going to go stay with my older brother, Josh. He's actually taking him on and getting him set up over on his father-in-law's land for a present.
Go away. That's a good.
Sorry, it's an ad. It's on
for a present for his daughters. And so there's one. So we have another lineback dun, an Appaloosa, which is a black or white with black spots, and he's really awesome. Jessica's horse is a paint. Mine is a bay chestnut. And then our other kid horse is a lineback dun Clarence.
Yeah.
So lineback dun Appaloosa paint.
So we have 4, and then one that was Maya's mom that's going to his brother's. And all of our horses are rescues. We rescued all of them out of slaughterhouses where they were going to be sent.
Well, 18 hands is really tall.
That's a freaking
tall horse.
My horse's name is Lucas Pugas, and he dances while he eats. He's beautiful.
Cyrus is the Appaloosa, and he's kind of a cute, funny horse because he picks his feet up real high. He's not gated, but he kind of prances, and he raises his tail when he gets going real fast. And so he's kind of a cool-looking horse. Yeah. I love all the horses, honestly. I care for all of them.
Okay, I put the link up, but it was while Maya's talking, so I just did it again, for that giveaway for that really sweet little channel. They're doing really good videos, so y'all go love on them. I can't express to you how much it means whenever you are just getting started on YouTube. Like, a little bit of support makes such a world of difference. Literally, it's so discouraging when you're doing all this work and you lose a subscriber because your number's not moving, and it just can be so discouraging. And I think so many people just give up. And so I always like to support these little channels because when they have 165 subscribers like this channel does, just getting a wave of 10 or 15, 20 that come subscribe, it's just wow, this is good. We're doing this, especially when they're doing a giveaway. How is she going? Bye, baby. I love you.
We'll see you in just a few days, really. 21st.
Ah, it's getting so close. I'm so excited. Okay. But yeah, so go love on them, please. That makes
and they make really good videos.
Yeah, very high
talking
quality.
About Square, right?
Yeah, Square One Farms or Square One Homestead.
Like I really enjoyed their stuff. So
can we do a video on our horses? We will have more videos on our horses probably coming in like January.
February.
We're gonna get more space for them, and like we are working on a lot of different projects right now. People are like, oh, it's going to slow down in the winter. Are you still going to post videos? I'm like, the winter is our project time. The summer is the garden and milking and just like maintaining everything. But the winter is when we knock stuff out because it's when it's not too hot to work. So we have lots of projects.
I think Maya is the Bob Vila of homesteading. Oh my gosh.
He is so handy for real. Like, I'm going to brag on him for a second and he'll blush. It's really cute. Look how red he's going to get. But he seriously can do anything. Like, he can fix anything. It drives him crazy because I know that he can fix anything. And sometimes he'll be like, I think we just need to go buy another one. I'm like, boy, you can fix that. I know you can fix that. And like, so he has to get on it. But he really can do just about whatever he sets his mind to.
I don't know. Tyson Family Farm. I don't know why.
I'm not sure. This question posted, so maybe try again.
Yeah, we actually, it's a nonprofit horse rescue called, I forget what it's called. I could probably look it up on Facebook. But essentially, we went through
Southern
a rescue,
Southern
States Equine Savers, and they helped sponsor and get all the horses mostly paid for. We had to pay for a certain portion of it. So we basically worked together. But yeah, we rescued them all from getting shipped to Mexico for meat.
Yep. You're always so calm and relaxed. He actually is really steady. I've only ever seen Maya lose his cool like one time ever, like as far as like not being calm and steady. Like even in situations that are like crisis situations, Jeremiah is like just really methodical. I think it's like Marine training. I think is that what it is? Or were you always like that as a person?
No, I think it was Marine training.
Because I've met other people that have been through like Marine training and stuff like that, and they're just so methodical.
Yeah, they really do teach you how to think through stress and not react. Does that make sense? Like I know like Marine Corps boot camp seems so intense because like they're constantly yelling at you to do something faster because you're not doing it fast enough. And it's not about doing it faster. It's about realizing they need you to think through the stress of someone yelling at you and not react to what's happening. Does that make sense? And so when you go through 3 months of that, like you really just learn like, you know, I can't be distracted by the surroundings. I need to stay on task. If that makes sense. So you just compartmentalize.
Somebody asked what I was most excited about growing in the spring. My garden. Can I say that? Can that be my answer? I'm honestly just so excited to have the garden going again. I'm going to do such a different variety of flowers. I'm really excited about that. Some new tomato varieties that I'm excited about. I'm really going to baby my peppers in the spring and use heat mats and get those going well because I missed that in my garden this year because they did so poorly. Some of the peppers did amazing, but some did poorly. Andrew said, sorry, I missed your favorite Christmas song.
You didn't say it, did you?
Oh, I didn't see anybody ask.
Yeah,
probably
asked.
Oh Holy Night is my favorite Christmas song. How many years have you gardened? I've gardened on a large scale, like we are now, for 1 year, because this is the only year my garden was that big. Last year, my garden was half this size. The year before that, I had a handful of raised beds. And then I've been growing in some capacity for about 10 years, like pots and little beds and stuff like that here and there. But really, only very, very intensely just for the last couple of years. I've learned most of what I know about gardening within the last 24 months. Yeah, my Tabasco pepper plants were insane. Oh, Rose said I should sing Oh Holy Night on her live.
People are asking about when you're going to be singing for them.
Oh my gosh. I don't know about that.
Any tips for a new goat owner?
Any tips for a new goat owner? Do your research. What were you going to say?
I'll say get in routine. Like, set up a routine of checking hooves, checking eyelids,
just making sure everything's
making sure they're not getting into stuff they shouldn't.
making sure your fences are good, making sure your place is like, I mean, we had the sickness with our baby goats, which was probably attributed to moldy hay, which was probably attributed to the fact that our hay was uncovered, which was fine when our herd was larger. It was just something that kind of slipped under the radar. And then it became an issue. And so I think really routine and staying on top of things is a big deal. 180 degrees from average says we need to sing a bunch of songs the next time we see each other.
I mean, yeah. I'll have to do that. I'm not singing
Rose,
that's not happening.
Hold on. I need to text Rose and ask her something if I'm allowed to say it, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
Are
on
you
here.
really texting?
Yeah. Okay. Answer a different question. I gotta ask her this.
I don't know anything about gardening, so I don't have any tips for deterring vine borers.
I've read that to deter
Shrink
vine
yourself
borers, you can actually spray soapy water. It's got a tiny bit of Dawn into the vine, like into the hole or the hollow of the vine. And then there's also different things that you can pack in there that are just like natural deterrents. We get squash bugs and vine borers so bad here. What I typically do, honestly, because I will pick and pick and pick, but my garden's so big that I typically succession sow every single squash plant, and I don't have great success in my winter squash because they get killed.
All right, so
okay, I can't say that. Okay, so watch Wholesome Roots if you want to hear some things about how, like preparing for goats. Rose really does have a ton of information. She's got some information she's laying out. I know she's laying it out to do like an ebook and stuff like that. And eventually there will be an announcement that's really cool. It's going to help you learn about goats. So we'll learn about that later.
What was the crucible like? This might be a bit late. You want me to go over that real quick?
Sure.
You check the eyelids for it.
It's called the Fumantia scale, which you pull their eyelid down and you look at the color and it tells you whether or not they have parasites. Essentially,
right.
like
so
if they're really pale and white, that's bad. You want it to be good in like rich pink.
Yeah, kind of like under your eyelid, really.
Yeah.
Crucible. So the Marine Corps Crucible is a 3-day event where they give you 2.5 meals. So like an MRE, which is a meal ready to eat from the military, you normally in active duty get 3 of those a day. They give you 2.5 of those for 3 days. You probably are marching around with your 150-pound pack or 130-pound pack, depending on what rifle and all that. Anyways, you are march around with that for miles and miles and miles, do all these obstacle courses, night stuff, there's all these training. It's just all, you're just constantly moving. You get about 3 hours of sleep a night. And at the very end of it, you do a 20-kilometer, what the Marine Corps would call hump, which is pack up all your stuff and march to where you're going. At the very end of that 20-mile hump, there is a 1/4-mile long mountain that's almost vertical. I remember climbing it. As I was climbing, I could just reach out about 12 inches and touch the dirt because it was so steep. And so you climb up to the top of that, and then once you get to the top of that, after everything else, you actually become a Marine. That's when they give you with an anchor. It's like the pinnacle of all the training. And after that, it's basically just getting prepared to graduate. And so it's like the pinnacle of Marine Corps training, and it is extremely hard. Like I had run out of food the last night. I'd saved my bag of Skittles from my MRE, and I saved that. I actually kept those in my pocket. So while I was doing the long march and up the mountain, I would eat Skittles, which I was just thinking like those would taste good and take my mind off of things. But really what it ended up doing was giving me a sugar to burn for the energy. But the night before, I'd run out of food, and I actually ate my straight Folgers coffee grounds and Tabasco sauce because that was the last thing I had to eat, and some bugs. So it was fun.
Okay, I'm going to go back and cover some. Someone said, wondering why you never mention or support Seed Savers Exchange. I just haven't done a lot of business with them. I've heard really good things, but I've just never purchased from them before. And it's kind of one of those things that like you kind of get into a habit of some places, and the places that I had always gone to were like Baker Creek, and Botanical Interest was another one that I had just always bought seeds from because a local nursery sells them, and just some things like that. And then I really found a couple other places that I like Trade Winds. And then of course I found like Luke in my gardener whenever he first came out with his stuff. And so like, I have nothing against Seed Savers Exchange, and I think they're doing a good thing. I just haven't done a lot of business with them. And, it got to a point that I have most of what I need from those other places. So, I saw several things I wanted to answer. Do you fry the flowers on squash? Yes. Squash flowers can be absolutely delicious, especially stuffed with soft cheese and lots of herbs. Will you be doing more seed starting videos in the greenhouse? Absolutely. I typically start all of my seeds on February 15th is like my day that I go out and start seeds. I'm also going to be starting some in the house kind of as an experiment just to see, but that's going to be after our basement remodel is done that I'll kind of start playing around with that. Did you want to, or you want me? How do you roast radishes? Any spices or simply olive oil? I usually quarter them, a little bit of olive oil, kosher salt, and that's it for me. You can put some garlic powder on them. It's really good, or some pepper or whatever, but I just like them oil and salt, and then usually do like a 400-degree oven until they kind of start to brown around the edges and get good and soft. It's just so good. Somebody said marigolds planted throughout your garden helps with many pests. That's so true. Actually, my favorite thing to do is put flowers all throughout the garden because I think it helps create such a good habitat for beneficial insects. So, definitely put lots of flowers. Diversity is really your friend. What is the best thing in your garden to grow?
Ground cherries.
Jeremiah likes to ground cherries. I don't think I could pick just one thing. I think that if I had to grow one thing in my garden, I would just bore of it. But I totally love to just grow a diverse. Tomatoes are my favorite thing to grow. But if that's the only thing that I could grow, I think I would be really sad because I like growing them with lots of other stuff.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
What is the show us your steak video? I don't know what that is.
What was the name of the tool that I used for planting the garlic? Let me grab that real quick.
The ground cherries are
It's a cherry tomatillo.
It's a cherry tomatillo. Foam from their mouths. I don't know that we've ever had a baby goat foam from their mouths.
I know larger goats foam from their mouths, so that's kind of normal. Rose, maybe. Rose can't answer that. I wish I could show you. Yeah, Rose, I've seen pictures. Your old garden is beautiful. This is called a dibber, a tea dibber. And I got this at Baker Creek. They sell them in their store. However, they do not have them on their website. I looked to find a link. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stab you. And then I actually looked up the brand. It's called Clarington Forge. It's like an English-made garden tool company. They also go by a name called Bulldog, and they're out of stock on these. I found one similar, also English-made, a different brand on Amazon that it's called a tea dibber. I have only ever planted anything. If I ever used anything to plant in my garden, it was a stick. But I got this at Baker Creek, and I will say it was really, really handy. Ben thought it was cool, but it really did just go. And you can, like, roll it around and make your opening larger, which I thought was kind of cool. So, yeah, dibber, tea dibber. Somebody asked about that. I thought it was cool. I absolutely view our farm as a ministry, and you know, it's been a lot of it has been like in donating food to people. I have a lot of like ideas in the future of how to like be a ministry with this farm as far as being able to host like retreats and stuff like that. So
how much space do goats or pigs need? I mean, that's it really
depends. It's a broad question.
They can survive in small spaces if you supplement things, or you could give them bigger spaces and not have to supplement things. Like more spaces for goats means lesser worm load, more browse. You don't have to bring in hay. Smaller spaces means higher worm load, which means you just got to stay on top of the worms and you have to bring in stuff for them to eat. So, I mean, it's really just like, you know, I would say start small, and if you feel like your land can support more, increase slowly, and then if you start too big and you need to downsize.
I did get my Christmas tree decorated. I wonder if I could show them. I wonder if I could pick this up and show them. How would you do that? No. I'll just put it in a vlog.
I guess you could.
Oh, I wanted to say something else. I just remembered. What? Okay. People have started sending us Christmas cards. And it makes me so stinking happy that I just can't even tell you how happy. And I'm hanging them all up right there, which you can't see it. But I'm going to put it in my vlog. So if you want to send us a Christmas card, our P.O. Box, it's on our About section, but I'll type it out here because that makes me... Oh, sorry, you need Best City. Don't look at that. Okay.
Moderators, you need to moderate Jessica's comments.
Okay, it's PO Box 850.
Yeah.
So is that right? I always forget the zip code because it's not actually the city we live in. We don't live in a city. We live in the county, so we have a different. No, see, I always put the zip code from El Dorado where I used to live.
Cook a steak, bring awareness to men's mental health. I figured you could help.
Oh, we'll look
I'll
it
look
up.
into it. Yeah, I like steak mostly.
Okay. So that's our P.O. box. So if you would like to send us a Christmas card, that would make me really happy. And someone else actually asked us if they sent us something from our wish list, would we put it under our Christmas tree and open on Christmas? And the answer is yes. Yes, we will do that. So that's really cool. Have I traveled outside the U.S.? Yes. Oh, Liz. Hey, Liz. Yes. I've traveled. I went to India. I was in India around a little before this time last year.
I lived in Japan.
Yeah, he used to live in Japan. I've never been to the UK though. I definitely would love to come over there. And
the reason, honestly, is not that we couldn't have made it work somehow, but if I'm gonna go, I want to go and go to Rome and go to the UK and go to Scotland and go to all the places. Go for a long enough to go see a bunch of stuff because I would really like to go.
People from Arkansas say El Dorado is strange. I know we don't say it El Dorado, and nobody who lives down there say El Dorado. From the past. We say El Dorado jokingly. That's or Eldo we shorten it, but El Dorado is how people say. No, they heard me say I used to live in El Dorado. So I'm curious. Woo Zilla from Little Rock. They said Bologna. Yeah, we live right outside Bologna. So
Rose Wheeler, we have a wish list. Linked at the bottom of all of our videos for our Amazon wish list. It's just, I don't know, I put stuff on there.
Yeah, it's just cool people have asked us for that and we started doing it. It's really cool. And it's just when people want to buy something or give us a gift or whatever, that they can look and see something, be able to give us something that we want. So we put little things on there that we wouldn't necessarily buy for ourselves. So
I was in Okinawa. And yes, someone was saying something about Paris Island. So they're in the Marine Corps, there's 2 different places to go to boot camp. West of the Mississippi goes to MCRD San Diego. East of the Mississippi goes to a place called Paris Island. I went to San Diego, which is where the mountain is. If you go to the East Coast one, you don't have to climb mountains, but you have to deal with sand fleas, which are pretty bad, they say. But anyways,
someone asked, how do we deal with fruit flies? We just get driven crazy by them. I don't know. We put out the vinegar trap and all that stuff, but nothing really works that well. So how do you deal with fruit flies? That's the real question in here. We get them bad in the fall and the spring. They're not super bad in the summer, but for some reason, in the fall, they're finally kind of chilling out now and they're not as bad as they were.
I do not have a job away from the farm right now.
No.
I do this full time. Someone was asking. I was just clarifying. Suburban to the bay.
The blue zapper light at Walmart. Yeah, no. We've done the sticky traps and the fly traps.
Well, remember when we opened up the Homestead box?
Yeah.
First, when we were first. Yeah. That had a natural thing you opened up, and it.
It was essentially soapy water and vinegar in a thing, and that really worked. But best tips for young channels. Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that.
Christina, jumping, hope, ha, look at me just went.
The best tips for young channels, I would say, be authentic. More than anything, be authentic. I think that's probably, I was talking about this with Morgan from Goldshaw Farms today. We did that video and then we just kind of chatted on Skype for a little while. And honestly, I really think that if you will be honest with what you portray in your videos, that people are just drawn to authenticity. One of the things that I was telling him, and I wish that I could tell this to every person who's getting started on YouTube, let your YouTube channel and the fact that you're sharing your life with other people be a catalyst to do your life better. Not an excuse to hide the areas in your life that are messing up, that are struggling. I really have tried to be very honest in ours, especially we went through loss, we went through grief, we went through a lot of stuff. And, at one point people are you seem really sad. And I'm I am, my mom who I was very close to, you know, my mother-in-law died, and I am very sad. And like just being really honest about process. For instance, like we have a really great marriage. Like we really sincerely do. Jeremiah's my best friend. I love him like crazy, and we have a really good relationship. We can get into some arguments like you would not believe. We are both so stubborn and strong-willed, and we've gotten to the point that we can resolve like quickly and apologize quickly, and these things don't last. They used to last days, and now literally we can catch ourselves and be like, I don't want to be like this to you. I love you, and literally resolve it within the conversation. But YouTube can be a catalyst to resolve those things quicker, because when I have to shoot a vlog, it's not going to be like, oh, I totally hate you right now, but, you know, put on a smiley face and let's pretend like we like each other because we got to get this video done. It's like, no, I love you. We're going to resolve this because we have, you know, I'm not going to play fake. I'm just not going to do it. And so my tips would really be to be authentic, be honest. I know am I rambling?
No, you're good.
And
someone said you should try being married to a stubborn German. Like,
oh Lord.
You might be German.
Yeah, Rose and I were talking about this Wholesome Roots, about how sometimes people might even want to they view a vlog like as entertainment in a sense that they want something a little more scripted and not so raw. And if that's what people want, I bless them to find it somewhere else. But like, I can't be that. I have to be honest about where I'm actually at. I have to be authentic. And I would say that's going to take you the furthest. Don't try to be anybody else. Other people are being themselves.
And as far as like resolving the conflict and stuff, you know, I heard it. I don't know if I heard it or read it somewhere, but it was talking about like a sign of righteousness is not. I guess I want to make sure I word it right. But essentially, the measure of righteousness in a man or in a woman is the amount of time.
Not that they fall down; it's how fast they get back up.
It's not about that, but it's about like because like repenting is turning, right? It's supposed to be like the meaning of that is to turn directions. And so, like I heard it said, and it really changed how fast we resolve things is because you know, you mess up, you say something you don't mean. A lot of people will literally, it'll take 3 or 4 days, you know, we used to for us before we'd actually get resolution. And then someone said or read, I read it somewhere, it was like, you know, the righteousness is measured by how fast the gap between messing up and turning rather than, you know, just the fact, you know, that you've acknowledged it. Like, it's like, you know, as that gap gets smaller, you know what I'm saying, like, I just feel like that's a good measure of.
Yeah.
I don't know if that seems like really rambly.
No, it was good. I liked it. Somebody asked some question up here I wanted to grab. Somebody said they don't like scripted. I feel like you can tell whenever if we wanted scripted, we could get scripted somewhere else. So I think that really sharing is good. Somebody asked about owning ducks. I really like ducks. Ducks are a little more messy, but their eggs are fantastic for baking. So ducks are really cool. They're neat animals. We made a mistake when we first got started brooding a whole bunch of them at once, like 50, because we were going to sell some, and it was just a lot of work. And so now we have, I think, 7 ducks. How many ducks do we have? 6 ducks, and we really like that. We're expanding our garden. What is the size of yours? The fenced-in part is 10,000 square feet. It's I can't remember the exact measurements right now, but about 10,000 square feet. It's a lot of garden, but a lot of it's raised beds, and we have like 2,000 square feet of
the garden space. Devo that they're saying is the devotionals that Jessica does. Yeah,
and I have a devotional filmed right now. I want to make sure it conveys what I'm trying to say, because I was just a little bit, sometimes if I'm kind of scattered when I'm trying to express something, I don't know, I always feel scattered in garden devotionals. And honestly, every single time I do one, I'm always like, I don't know if this is good, until people are like, I really needed to hear that. So I really need to just put it out there. So it'll probably be up here soon.
Where is Jackson? I'm his
friend.
Hey,
Trevor.
He's at his dad's house.
Yeah, right, Jackson's not here right now. He actually worked with one of my friends yesterday morning to earn some extra money.
They're actually going to be doing a video soon. I don't know what we'll name it, but essentially we're going to have a bunch of Jackson's friends from school who think it's cool his parents do YouTube. They're going to come over and do like a work day.
So they can be in a YouTube video. They wanted to, so we're like, okay, cool. Thank you so much, Stephanie. That was so sweet. She said happy birthday and sent me super chats.
Sweet.
Mama Tried said ducks are called fowl for a reason. You are not joking. Ducks can be so nasty. I will tell you, with 6, having them in a pretty enclosed space, they're not that bad right now. You think?
No, they're not. But what we're gonna do on the ducks is we're gonna set up a pool, and I'm gonna dig out because it's actually sloping downhill towards the. It's gonna slope downhill towards the garden and towards the high tunnel, and so I'm gonna put in a pipe that drains out the pond thing that they're in. Probably every 2 days or so, and then we'll use that water to put on the garden to fertilize everything, and then give them fresh water. I think that's actually going to be really awesome.
Yeah. Somebody said somebody was suggesting to somebody else to go do Rose's collaboration, the 5 Reasons Why Homestead, if you're just getting started on a channel. That's really good. Like joining in collaborations that are open like that, totally do that, because that's a really good way to get exposure and just kind of jump into the community.
Duckaponics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what basically.
Somebody asked about our watering system. We have watered our entire garden in the past by hand, which is absolutely ridiculous. This year we are putting in irrigation.
Yep, we're actually getting it like covered by the grant.
Yeah.
Drip tape and everything.
Any update on the high tunnel,
yes.
And when are we starting it?
Yeah, we did get approved. I did call them. It is a system where you pay up front. But after discussing it with them and all of that,
you basically get reimbursed.
You basically get reimbursed, and once you submit the receipt, you get reimbursed within 5 days. So that's actually pretty good, and so we're going to be able to make it work. And so as far as starting, honestly, as soon as we go in and sign the contract and make it happen, like we can get started as soon as we want. So, but I think we'll probably get started in January, February. Yeah. Sometime around
after the holidays. We're working on our basement right now, and then the main thing is we want to get that high tunnel in to kind of start planting in it, maybe March and stuff. So I'm going to try to start some seeds in the basement soon, some plants I could put out there.
Yeah, the pig moldable housing is working out great.
GVAS, $50. That's so awesome. Y'all are spoiling us tonight on these super chats.
So the high tunnel, we're doing the greenhouse. They're giving us a pipe to run water to the garden, to the greenhouse. They're getting us drip tape. They're going to get the well pump and tank and all that set up. Like they're really going. It's going to be changing.
If you own your property or buying your property, as in you have a deed, check into this system. It's the NRCS, Natural Resources Conservation Systems. I don't know what the S is for, but it's a USDA program. It's a grant for helping people farm. And so truly check it out. It's not something the income cutoff is something crazy. You have to make less than $900,000 a year, something
which actually when I was there was a farmer who made more than that.
Right. And so it's for smaller farmers or just getting started farmers. So, but it's not for people who are people a lot of times think of grants and stuff and they think, oh, that's for people who are just really struggling financially. That's not it. It's for people who are getting started. And it's just a program that you have to get they want you to apply for it, because if they don't issue these grants, they lose their funding. And so you want to go get applied. What?
Ethan says, I can't do the greenhouse grant. Just kidding. Because he makes too much money.
If you have that
was
problem,
the case, bro.
If you have that problem, that'd be a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But so
I knew I chose my friends wisely.
So you definitely, it's the greenhouse grant. They do irrigation. They do all this stuff. And you don't have to get that huge of one either. But I've been watching the aldermans have it.
Well, here's how the greenhouse works. You can build.
Thank you so much.
You can build really whatever size, because they come in kits. So you do have to have certain size. You can't just be 12.3 feet versus, it comes in a kit. So that determines the size. But in our county, you get essentially, it's not 100% reimbursement. Technically, it's considered 90%. But basically, you can pretty much get everything done within the 90%, if that makes any sense.
Basically, you get 90% reimbursement, but they allow you to build it yourself if you have the skill to do it. And so, essentially, they're paying for the kit as well as the labor. And so, for us, because we'll put it in ourselves, we won't have to pay out of pocket because of the fact that we're not going to pay somebody else to put it up.
We're going to build the kit. I'm going to do it. I think I can figure it out and do it. I have enough construction background. I've got enough brothers to help. So we're going to buy the kit and then build it ourselves, and that should help cover all the extra costs. Essentially, you get paid per foot. So if you do a 20 by 50, you know, you figure out the square footage, you're going to get a certain dollar amount. I think ours is like $3.14 a square foot. And so if we do a 30 by 100, then it factors out to basically cover the kit and all the other expenses you would need. So,
I watched Arm's Family Homestead's video on building theirs. Carla,
nothing, Carla.
Thank you. That's so cool. So yeah, check it out. I tried to put the link on there. I don't know if it got on there, but it's NRCS, Natural Resources Conservation Services. One of the stipulations with the high tunnel is you have to plant either in the ground or in relatively low raised beds. You can't make like 4-foot raised beds and fill with soil because it's supposed to be like a resources conservation. So it's supposed to be for conserving your soil, which we were planning on doing like back to Eden or heavy mulching, no dig back there. So we're just going to do that within the high tunnel and probably do a little bit of raised beds. Low. Someone asked again what program we use to do our videos. It's iMovie is what we use. I'm going to learn something more.
I haven't had time to mess with Marshmallow Cannon. I don't know. I've got some friends coming in for the holidays. We'll probably mess around with it.
Yeah. Someone said that my tats are awesome. Thank you, Shannon. My little brother is my tattoo artist. He's incredibly gifted. He's just a really cool artist. And so he's done all of my tattoos. I'm not done with it. See this space right here? I actually haven't had it worked on over a year. Eventually we'll work on it, but I just haven't. So if you want to look at him on Instagram, my little brother has YouTube too. I always forget this. He's been doing some vlogs and he's really good. Let me see if I can find him on here and I will share a link with you guys. Okay. If you want to check out my brother, he's a really avid fly fisherman and he's just a really cool dude. Him and his girlfriend have been together for like years and she's just super sweet and I love them like crazy. And I'm just proud of him. You know, like he's 2 years younger than me. So he's still my little brother. You know how it is. If like, do you have a younger sibling? You know what I'm talking about. Like, even though you're grown adults and like all of that stuff, they're still your little sibling. And so that's how it is with my brother. And anyway, I adore him. Let me see. He's got a YouTube channel and it's called Drew LR. Let me see if I can get the link here to share with you guys. But he's been doing some videos about like fishing and stuff, and he's very good at videography. He's probably a little bit of a perfectionist about it, but he's produced some really good videos. And he shares a little bit of like his tattooing, and he travels all over the place and does tattoos. But he lives in Fayetteville.
Yeah, Ethan. Actually, we are. Was it the guy that Charles Dowding?
Yeah,
we're seriously looking into his methods of no-tilling.
That's my brother's YouTube. But yeah, Ethan, I will remind you about that the next time we meet up. Let's see. Someone said I'm the baby sister. I'm 48. They still talk to me sometimes like I'm 5. Yeah, I guess that's the way it would go the other way around.
Good night, April.
So, good night, April.
Our loudest animal, I saw someone say that, is probably the Nubian goats.
Oh, they're so chatty. Just if it's your birthday. My birthday is on this next Sunday, a week from today on the 16th. And I'll actually, I guess we're kind of getting toward the end of our time. So, yeah. Denise, I saw you said that somewhere else. You commented that maybe it was on the last live about getting a tattoo when my brother comes to the Utah convention. Absolutely. Yeah. Like he does. He travels all over the place. Like if you follow him on Instagram, which is the same name, Drew LR on Instagram. And he goes all over the country in tattoos and he does these really cool fish tattoos. He's kind of known for it. He's done some like designs with some different t-shirt companies and stuff. So yes, Avon Leanne, go feed your kitty. So, okay. Real quick, let's wrap this up. Look at this majestic man. He never takes it down. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, so people are. You knew that was going to happen.
I wasn't even thinking about it. My head was itchy. Sorry.
Oh man, all the people are commenting about your mane.
It's long right now too.
His hair is way more fabulous than mine. I'm not joking. Like, look, I've got like, look at this. Look, is your hair still longer than mine? Yeah,
it might be
longer. It used to be way longer. He's got some hair. Okay, answer GVAS's question. What did she ask? Okay, I got distracted by Jeremiah letting his hair down. Can somebody repeat it or comment? Like, if you see, what was the question GVAS asked? If you can start garden on an empty space, what would be the most important things to set up first? If I had it to do over again, I would have set up an asparagus bed right off the bat because I would be harvesting lovely asparagus every spring. Instead, I am not. So asparagus is a perennial that it would be really awesome to set up first. Because I'm such a fan of raised beds, I really suggest that people try that route, at least some. You don't have to make your whole garden raised beds, but for real, like raised beds are a really good thing to start. But really, if you are going to not do raised beds, starting out with heavily mulching, doing something like wood chips, if that's a good thing to do in your area, watch Back to Eden Gardening. Go check out Charles Dowding's page, because truly a lot of people, their first thing is to start tilling the soil and adding in amendments. And I really don't think that's the way to go. I really think that really doing the heavily mulching, no dig thing, I'm really going to start moving towards that. And truly getting your space set up and your soil set up is probably more important than anything you're going to initially plant. So I would say asparagus bed first, like go ahead and get that thing established because it's going to take a few years. And then turn towards getting your planting space established, getting your soil ready. And then, I mean, just whatever seasonal. I mean, get something started. Get something started in pots. Radishes are so easy. Greens are so easy. I've shown people how to grow greens like in a bag of soil. I always just say, just start. So, and fruit trees, Rose is so right. Get your fruit trees planted. Yeah,
because you got to get them started early.
We made a mistake when we first started. We did put fruit trees in right off the bat, but we didn't really have a good feel of where everything was going to be. Yeah. And so where we ended up putting our fruit trees is where our goats later ended up. And they ended up killing most of them, even with protection around them. They are very persistent, and they ended up killing those. So, try to get a layout of where you're going to put things, put in some fruit trees, put in the berry bushes, put in the perennials, and then go from there. So, are they making you blush? They are. Very blessed lady. They're making it. Y'all, he'll blush. Look how cute he is. 485 watching. Please, everyone hit the thumbs up. Thank y'all so much. Okay. We got to wrap this up because there are other people that are doing YouTube live right now. Okay. First things first, go follow my moderators. Wholesome Roots, 180 degrees from average. Y'all comment so people can see you in case they haven't seen you. Xavier, all perennials should be the first thing to go in, and avoid box store fruit trees. Yeah, get your perennials in. That's a big thing. So there's my Wholesome Roots.
Xavier sent us a really cool message. We're not going to really share it. It was private, but we read it to my sister today, and she was just crying. Yeah,
she did. She sent us I need to send you a picture, Xavier, of what I got in the mail today from somebody.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
That's kind of vague for the other 472 people
y'all just
in
keep
here.
wondering about what we're talking about.
Can't focus with the long hair man in the room. Y'all, his head's going to get so big. I like it. I always tell him, just take his hair down. He looks good with it down. So, yeah, y'all love on my mods. Thank you so much. Remember, this Friday, yes, the Adventures of Spanky and Squirrel. I did get your Christmas card, and it is hanging up right now. Thank you so much. Y'all send me Christmas cards. You'll make me so happy when you do. I cry in the parking lot of the post office, like on the regular. Look at this blanket. I really wish that she was in here. I don't know if she is. Look at this. I got this from a viewer last week. Isn't that gorgeous? She made it just for me. It's peacock colors. I just thought that was the sweetest thing. But I get such amazing things in the mail that just bless my heart like crazy. And it just blesses me so much. So, yeah, Christmas cards to our P.O. box. It's on the About Us section. Y'all are awesome. We love you so much.
Yeah, wow.
This Friday, December 14th, we will be on Wholesome Roots live stream on her channel. So give her a follow to make sure you see that. Subscribe to her. Turn the bell on.
And we're kind of toying with the idea of possibly doing like a Monday morning.
Yeah, we might do a
maybe.
live sometime during our little birthday trip. We've got lots of family coming to stay here, keep our farm.
03 Maya.
Jeremiah's sweet brother is going to be working on our basement for us. He is so precious, and he takes good care of his sister. Xavier is a gorgeous name. All right. Make sure if there's anything else I need to catch before we go. Is there anything that I'm missing that just must be addressed?
When are our shirts coming in?
We ordered some of our own shirts from Teespring because we have to order them. We don't have inventory, and they should be in here this week.
So we'll get those up
for
on
us
video
to be able to show you guys. So that'll be really cool.
So you can see how they fit. We can give you guys some advice on ordering and things like that.
I've heard really, I've ordered like I set it up for like the nicer quality ones, and I've heard really good things about them. So we love y'all so much. Yes, one day I will get peacocks whenever I have a place to contain them, and they won't get run over on our street.
Or stolen. We've had turkeys get stolen.
Yeah, people have stolen our turkeys.
We've had chickens get stolen. We had someone sneak. We had someone sneak into the woods, get into our chicken coop, and take out like 15 chickens.
Yeah, it was more than that. It was like 25, and they stole all of it. We had a bunch of show quality chickens. We didn't show them, but we had like lavender Orpingtons and several like more rare birds. And someone actually came into our coop one night and stole half our chicken flock. It had to have been. There was no struggle. There was no sign of anything, and the gate at the door was latched back. So crazy.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us on Sunday night.
Yep. We love y'all.
We'll get you an update this week on the garden. I'm not the garden. On the I'm so tired. On the basement.
Yep. I keep seeing these questions I've seen multiple times. I don't store my seeds at a regular or like a special temperature. They're just in my basement. Oh, Deep South Homestead, we love you. We love you. We love you.
Oh yeah, Deep South.
All these wonderful comments about birthday. Okay, y'all go hop on over to Rose. Do you have a link for Part-Time Permies? They're doing their live stream right now, and we've run over, but I want y'all to go give them some love because we got to support other people. Part-Time Permies, they do their live stream on this night, so at this time, so y'all can go check them out. And we're gonna get off here.
Love you guys. See you.
Bye.